Welcome, everyone, to Chirping Zebras, episode 36. Mark Riley alongside Gino Binder Jr., as always, coming to you from AOA Studios in Beverly. Best place to tape a podcast or anything you want to tape.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And we want to thank our sponsor, the Referee's Crease, your one-stop shop for all your refereeing needs. Want to reach out if you need a ref, if you need a schedule, if you need to pay a ref, if you need to yell at a ref.
Yeah.
Give them a call.
Sounds good.
We love having them as a sponsor. And we were planning on having Andy Brickley tonight.
I wore my Bruins T-shirt. Come on. Go
did.
Bees.
You did.
And they're horrible right now, so I wanted to,
Well, we'll get into that. We will get into that. But Andy had a late flight in from Nashville. Couldn't make it tonight, so we rescheduled him for another night, so which is perfectly fine. So you get...
he would be sitting here.
He would be sitting in the middle seat.
Yep.
But for right now, it's just you and I.
Right now, let's rip.
Which, you know what? Never a bad thing, you and I.
So I did want to bring up with Brick this past road trip. It's been all over, the sports radio in Boston. Nothing misses a beat with them. You get the Jim Montgomery and Marchand going at it on the bench. They got, as a team, they're already kicking Montgomery out of town. And it's just like, come on, just give them a break. Let's see where it goes. It's early. They got a good team. They do need some scoring, but what the hell happened between the captain and the coach on the bench when he pushes them?
Well, I think, first of all, there's a level of frustration with this team, right? Because they have expectations that currently they're not meeting. Right? And they're understandable that they're not meeting them yet, but they're still not meeting those expectations. So I think there's frustration on both the players' part and Montgomery's part. Montgomery's in the last year of his deal. No extension yet. So some people say that's a lame duck situation right there. But the whole Marchand thing, so when we'll play the video as we talk about it, but to me, I see a coach who's pissed off that his player made a dumb play. Right? Marchand tries to beat three guys, loses the puck, leads to a goal at the other end. Montgomery's pissed off, and he's letting it rip. And he goes over and gives him the old push on the shoulder pad. Now, when I first heard them talk about it on the radio, they talked like it was this physical altercation. Like, they got into it and literally almost had a fight.
Like the Brady O'Brien on the sidelines. Remember when they went at it?
Yeah. And then when you watch the video, it's a little push. You can see it's just a little push. As a coach, I've done that to players.
Right.
You're getting them motivated or you give them a tap. I don't know. I don't see it as that big a deal, but it is a big deal in the sense that it happens on the bench in front of everyone. It's your captain.
And your team slide, and you just lost to the worst team in the National Hockey League, the Nashville Predators. It gave them the first win, right? What are you guys doing? Come on.
Well, and they gave up a point in Utah. There's a team there's a game they should have won, and they end up losing in overtime. I
love how you say Utah.
Utah. I say it like I'm supposed to say it. What are you talking about?
I don't know. It just sounds funny the way you say Utah. Like Johnny Utah?
Yeah. Well, Greg Murphy put out a meme with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. They're on the surfboard,
awesome.
Right? With Point Break.
Yeah,
and
great
it says
movie.
Utah's Hockey Club. And one of them says, remember that time we played with Dean Youngblood?
And, that's super cool.
Very good. I'll find it. We'll put it up.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was a fantastic meme by
that's pretty
Murph,
cool.
Our buddy Murph. But people say California funny too. I don't know.
That's
California.
That's how my grandmother says it. California. Yeah. You pronounce all the vowels.
So I suppose it's a Boston thing.
Yeah, but we do talk lazy.
We talk the right way.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
I agree.
We've gone over this before with the whole accent thing.
They landed in our town, Plymouth Rock. So we started it. That's it.
That's right. It all started here.
Right
a lot of other things started here that we wish hadn't, but we won't get into that because it's a hockey podcast. But I don't see it being as big a deal as it probably will be made out to be.
If they continue to slide, they can't get the shit together and get on a winning streak here and show that you're top of the league, you're a playoff contender, and the whole thing. Does it lead in? Is it like the goalie not signed? Is it the new people coming in not gelling? Is it what is it? Is it the coach not getting the guys' attention. Did Montgomery already lose the room because he is in a lame duck situation? Now, when a coach is in that situation, do you think he should be extended mid-season, or just wait to the end of the season and revisit it? Or you just kind of, because like it's almost like if you don't extend them, it's almost like by Christmas time, it's almost like saying, hey, we're not believing in you. Let's see what you do, prove it. And if I'm a coach, that's kind of what I would want, right? I'd want a prove it deal, and show what I can do, and then you get that big money payday. Right?
I think the problem with Montgomery is the fact that they haven't had any success in the playoffs.
They ran into Florida twice, though. Come on, Florida just won the cup and they lost in the finals. Like they proven to be the best. I mean,
that team's beatable.
It's beatable.
And I think a lot of the decisions he made, especially 2 years ago when they lost in Game 7, I think a lot of the decisions he made were questionable. And he, jumbling all the lines around. He's been famous for that. Mm-hmm. Switching lines around left, right, center. It's just, and he also has done it with the D to some point too. And, you can't build chemistry up if you're constantly playing with different people. Now, I know it was easier when he had Krejci and Bergeron up the middle, along with Coyle as your third-line center, right? Coyle, the third-line center, that's probably the best third-line center in the league.
Agreed.
They lose Krejci and Bergeron. Okay, last year was tough because down the middle you're not as strong as you used to be.
Right.
This year they have Elias Lindholm, which I think is a huge pickup.
Yep.
But again, he's brand new.
Yep.
He's playing with new wings. Mm-hmm. They got him with Zacha and they have him with Pasternak right now. And right now they're in that trying to figure each other out phase.
Yeah.
And I think eventually that line is going to work, right? But you have Coyle and Marchand and this revolving door on that other wing.
Right.
And it's like you got to figure out who goes there. You can't play a different person.
Well, that's what they're missing.
Every game.
That's what they've always missed. That they need those 2 top 6, to be powerhouses. And every team in the league has them, right? And then you want your third line, like you already got a good start there. You want your third line to be the best third line in hockey because that's, I think, who wins your championships. If you have depth. The year they won the cup, I mean, the fourth line was their third line. Like, their fourth line was incredible.
Best fourth line in hockey.
Yeah.
And they have the best fourth line in hockey now.
Yeah, I agree.
Their fourth line right now is the most consistent. They're putting up all the points. Yep. They've gotten a majority of the scoring.
That kid Koepka, he was the captain. He was the captain in Duluth when they went, and I think he was either the captain or assistant, I can't remember, but he was a big leader in that group. They won back-to-back national championships, and I reffed that league for 6 seasons, and Duluth was awesome. Like,
and he was
a big reason. I mean, he played with these. I forget who his line mates were, but half the team went to the show. They're all playing in the National Hockey League, but very very good player.
How was he to deal with as a captain?
Never. Professional through and through, and that's what the Bruins have. Like they have a lot of former college captains, team captains. They got a lot of leaders on the team, so that's a good thing. That Boston's always had that though. They've had that from Jump Street, and it's been passed down. Like we talked about that with Sanderson, with the just the leadership from Bobby Orr, and then that's passed on to the next generation and next generation, right down with then Terry O'Reilly and everybody else passed that on. So I know the Bruins got a good history, original 16. You always want to. It's always good when they're in the mix, and it's always good to see when they beat up on Montreal and they're in the basement.
Yeah, well, that's always fun, especially for us Boston fans.
But who doesn't love that rivalry in the playoffs, right? Like you see Boston, Montreal, or just even down the stretch. Like they don't have that bad blood anymore, where it used to be must-see TV.
Yeah, well, the whole change in the playoff situation, and we've talked about this multiple times. I still go back to
league setup
John Newberry had. I when I went back and rewatched his idea for the playoffs and really kind of comprehended it. He said let's rate them 1 through 16 in the East, 1 through 16 in the West. 1 plays 16, 2 plays 15, right on up to the middle, and therefore, to finish first or second, you get a legitimate benefit to playing the lower tier teams.
Yeah, the way it's structured now, you don't get a benefit from
terrible.
No.
You might be playing the second place. The second seed is the first first round.
Kind of happened in the Bruins, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like.
So I kind of, old school 1 through 8, the divisions and all that stuff, but 1 through 16, man, just makes it. And I get it, the travel. Yep. Right? You could have a West Coast team playing an East Coast team in the first round.
Yep.
So yeah, okay. If you have to go 1 through 8, East West, fine, do it that way. But again, there's the benefit like that. I like that idea as 1 through 8.
Yep.
In the East, 1 through 8 in the West, and then you have the travel taken care of, right? Although I'd love to see one play 16, because how many 16 seeds are gonna win the cup. And maybe there is one out there because it's the one sport you get a hot goalie.
I think hockey's the one sport you can do it.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But the 1 through 8, then you're finishing in the top of the division. You have that benefit,
right?
And then it creates those. The last 4 teams left, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, should be at least in the top 10 of the league. Yeah. Going into the playoffs, right? Because you want to see the best hockey. And I just don't like the way the playoffs are set up now.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Now, the Bruins D-core, biggest D-core,
yep.
They're actually the tallest and heaviest team in the league now. They're the 8th youngest team in the league, which kind of surprised me.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that either. The D-core now is big and solid. You got guys like Peak. You got Zadorov. You got some big bodies, I think, that are built for the playoffs. I still... Hampus Lindholm still drives me up a freaking wall. He could be so great.
Yep.
And yet he just plays so small. And everyone knows how I feel about him in the playoffs. He's a typical European in the playoffs. Yeah. Right? He just he's useless. Yep. And he gives up the puck left, right, and center. And he's doing it now. Usually in the past couple of years, he's been a good regular season player. And then in the playoffs, he's disappeared. It's like he drives me freaking crazy, absolutely crazy. And I understand, if I don't think he's a top 4 defenseman, I really don't. I think he's a 5th defenseman. If he's playing a 5th defenseman role, that's where he belongs. Right. But he's looked at as a top 3 guy because of the money he's making
and the offensive,
offense.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I just don't. I just don't like his game. I just don't like.
Not a lot of people.
I love Mason Lohrei.
Lohrai's awesome.
A stud.
That kid's awesome. I reffed him in college when he played at Ohio State, and just the way he used to walk the blue line. He'd walk, boom, fishbowl the whole thing, make a play. The kid was awesome. He stood out. His vision, his stick skills, some of those passes he makes is just incredible.
Yeah.
And he's going to be an offensive powerhouse. And I think he's going to be one of the top defensemen in the league at some point.
And the cool thing about him, his dad, Dave Lohrei, was the coach of the Sioux City Musketeers in the USHL. Back when I refereed, he was there, and I think he was there when you were there, right?
I don't remember him, but I think he might have been.
Yeah. And he was a great dude. He was one of those coaches that just, he yelled when he had to, but he didn't take anything personally. And he had fun on the bench, just a good guy all around, and it's great to see that, someone like that, his son is successful, and the fact that it's with the Bruins even better.
So since this is a referee podcast, right? You just mentioned something, right? Like a coach that doesn't chirp a lot, the coach that doesn't chirp much, right? Now, do you when you're in a game, do you you work leagues, you're constantly working, and say it's almost when you're higher levels this applies to, right? College or juniors, and you get a coach that doesn't shut the F up the whole game long, but he's not over the top. He's not, but how do you handle those coaches that just don't shut up the whole game long, that are constantly just nitpicking, just asking questions, but they're being very respectful, but they're kind of questioning your, not integrity, but questioning your calls in a manner or whatever. How do you handle those coaches?
See, I never let it get to that point.
Right.
So I addressed it right away. Whether or not they were being respectful or whatever, if they're going to yell about every penalty, after the second one, you're going to go over and go, "Hey, coach, I'm not going to have you yelling about every penalty that I call. You got a question, call me over, we'll talk about it." But this nonsense isn't going to work.
Well, not like, I mean, it's not like you're calling 100 penalties a game. I'm more like, hey, that's icing. Hey, that's offsides. Hey, what about this? What about that? Like, like, how do you go how do you go about addressing it? Like, what do you mean by address it?
I go over and say, Coach, this constant nonsense, this constant talk, not going to work today.
Right.
It's not going to work for us. And all you're doing is distracting us from doing our job.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. Yep.
Right? So you're telling my linesman what's onside and offside. He's going to mess it up because you're in his ear.
Right.
So why don't you let us take care of our job? You take care of your job. And we'll have a better experience here.
Right.
And, and then it's up to him. If he wants to continue, then you can step it up to, hey, Coach, we already had this discussion.
Right.
And if this is going to continue, 2 minutes might have to go on the clock.
Right.
I'm not threatening. I'm not saying I'm going to call a penalty.
Yeah, you didn't just tee him
2
up,
minutes
right?
might go up on the clock. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Might go up on the clock. And then, again, you're giving him the rope.
That's your way of saying, listen, I'm sick of listening to you.
Exactly.
Right? You're giving them the answers to the test.
Shut the fuck up.
Right.
I'm done. Without saying, shut the fuck up, I'm done. Right. And that's the kind of the art form to the communication piece as a referee.
Right.
You want to be able to do that and get your point across and do it in a respectful way. You're not, yelling and screaming at a coach isn't going to work.
Right.
Right. And so you're doing it in a way that you're telling him, here's what's acceptable tonight.
Right.
And and I love, well, the other night no, that was the other night. I wasn't here.
Right.
My favorite line was the crew the other night. Were they as good looking as this crew? Because if they weren't, it wasn't us.
Right.
Right. You gotta tell them this is the way it's gonna go tonight. You want to conform? Great. If you don't, that's fine too. Completely up to you. I'm not going to take it personally either way.
Right.
I'm just going to adjudicate the rules the way they need to be done.
Yep.
And, if you end up going down a man because of your actions, that's on you, not me.
Right.
Because I didn't go right to the penalty. I didn't, you allow them and give them the rope. Sometimes they have a right to yell.
Right.
Right? Sometimes you mess up and you got to listen to it. John Marks, my famous story about him standing on the dasher screaming at me for 30 seconds.
Right.
I had to eat it.
Listen, we don't see everything, right? You don't see everything out there. It's impossible. So, you want to get the most information as you possibly can, and then, sometimes they have a legitimate gripe. Like Ron Foyt, former NHL linesman, one of our supervisors at the NCHC, used to always come in and be like, "Oh, what did that coach have to say on that play?" And I'm like, oh, he wanted a trip there. And he goes, oh, yeah, that's pretty legitimate. Yeah, that kid, it might have been a trip, but if you looked at it again, you might call that. And I was like, oh, fair enough, right? It's not like he's yelling and screaming about it. It's just like, hey, what did he want there? And that kind of stuff. And it's like, hey, I didn't see it, and they move on, right? Just be honest with them. And especially if you don't see it, don't guess, right? If you're guessing, then now your credibility goes right out the window too. So, you want to see enough of the play where you can pinpoint something and you go, yes, that's what I saw. I saw the head get contacted, or, hey, I saw the extension of the arm or whatever that can, back your call with the rule book, Now
I got a question for you, because now in college hockey, a lot of the direction from the above is for referees not to talk to coaches at all.
Who says that?
A lot of people tell me that. A lot of people say
don't talk to coaches.
Don't talk to coaches if you don't need to. Stay away from the bench. I know the whole don't talk to him at the end of the period. Wait till the beginning.
Oh, that drives me nuts. There's no need to talk to coach at the end of a period. Period.
Well, and we disagree on that. I think there's times where.
Well, no, there is times where.
Well,
no, I am okay with addressing them after a period, but not out in the ice surface, right? If it's underneath in the tunnel and you can grab them real quick and it's just a quick how do you do, that's fine. Or if there's on ice strength being changed or something like that, you can go tell them. But we're not going to stand out there while the Zamboni's trying to come out,
right?
And we're going to have a conversation with one coach, right? You're going to tell them, say, hey, my boss is in the building. He doesn't want me to do it. Let's talk afterwards. And 9 out of 10 times when they come out of the room, they're giving you, except for one night, Mike Havlin, we got to have him on. Well, I think he's an assistant somewhere. But he was at Colorado College, right? And I go, Mike, come out here and meet me at the beginning of the period. I'll talk to you. So I do my lap. He's not out here, and I'm over here. He's still not out. Then he comes coming over, and the period's about to start, and he gives me the, oh, what the hell, you're going to go? I go, hey, I told you at the beginning of the period, you lost your window. He's just giving me the, I'm like, too bad. I was like, I'm not talking to you now.
Right.
And I had a rapport with Mike, so I could get away with some stuff that, you know, whatever. I've known him for years in pro hockey, and we had a relationship. But, like, I talked to him during pretty much every line change because he would have something to say, and halfway through it, his bench is over there, and I'm giving him the line change like this because if I look at him, he's going to say something to me, and I don't want to get roped into stuff because, like, I have no problem. Hey, what did you see there? I'm like, Mike, that's not a penalty. Like, it's just those. I call it death by a thousand paper cuts with those type of coaches. And if you let that fester in your game, it's gonna drive you nuts because the coach is starting, then the kids start, and then everybody else is all, and then everybody is all over you, and you can't win.
So say something happened. I'll give you a scenario. There's a big collision at the blue line. Everyone in the building thinks it's a penalty. You had a great look at it. It's not a penalty. Whistle blows. Coach is going nuts. Now, my advice to an official would be to go right over and say, Coach, listen, I had a good look at that. And from my angle, it was a collision, all right? And he might say, well, it was interference. All right, from my angle, I had a collision.
Right.
Just letting you know. 20-second conversation, and we're off we go.
Right.
I've been told by guys that I've worked with, oh, they don't want us doing that.
Doing what?
Going over and having that conversation with the coach.
Who says that?
Certain leagues. Maybe not your league.
Not my league.
Certain college leagues have told referees not to go over and talk to coaches. They don't want them talking to coaches at all. And I just don't understand that because that 20-second conversation, if I don't go over and I ignore that, now the coach thinks, immediately he's pissed off because he just wants to be heard. And now that festers into the next marginal call. Now he's going to flip out, right? And then it just builds and builds until now we have a full-blown problem.
Right.
I just don't get that. I think if you can keep it short, and I'm not saying going over after every whistle. You can't be going over after every whistle. But when certain things happen, you should be able to go over and have that quick conversation and then be done. And I think that builds that rapport, that integrity, that connection. I don't know.
I mean, you're not going over, like, asking him where he's going afterwards. You just,
No.
So it's like communication's key. Like, I talk through the whole game with the players, the captains, the goaltenders, the coaches. Like, I narrated the whole friggin' thing. And, because I would pinpoint things and then go back to them later, right? And, like, a coach would be yelling for hooks and holds. And I'm like, well, I've already called 6 of them. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Like, I'll protect our goalies. I'm like, what about that goal turn interference I called? And, all the other ones weren't a penalty, but because it looks like a penalty or it should be, it's like things are happening, but they're not, necessarily enough for a penalty. It's like, oh, these referees, they're blowing it tonight. Oh, they're not. What are they doing? They need to get a grip. And then they do get a grip. It's too late. It's their fault. It's like, well, let them play or not let them play, right?
Yeah.
What do you want? Like, which one do you want, right? So, like, we're trying to game manage every game, every situation. So it's like not every game's the same. Not every situation's the same, right? Especially scrums are a big issue, right? Managing scrubs are huge. I had a coach talk to him this week, and he goes, like, they went down in the scrum, and they're like, you can't find one on the other team. And I said, no. I go, what the other team did was not as egregious and what started that whole thing. And it was the second scrum of the game, third scrum in the game. Your guy poked the goalie, then slashed him. I go, and then everybody came in, and the guy got dumped. I go, nothing. I go, what do you want? Like, you shouldn't have, and he goes, yeah, my guy shouldn't have done it, but you're telling me you can't find one in there? I go, well, I can find one in there and going the other way too. So we're going 4-2. Someone's going down. How do you get them to stop playing the whistle? Penalize, right? Mm-hmm. Make it sting. Like, the even it up. Like, I sat with Kevin Collins this weekend at Holy Cross. He came to watch a couple of linesmen, and, just talking to him was like, that kind of stuff. It's unbelievable. He's just like, yeah, you got to penalize. If you don't, it's going to continue.
Well, yeah, the matching up, I never got.
No.
Andy was a big proponent on find a differential.
Yes.
And, you can even go into a scrum saying, I'm going to only take one guy. I'm taking one guy who's going to be.
Right.
And I used to love to pick out whoever. Go 78. It's going to be you. Don't be that guy today. Oh, I didn't do anything. Well, you're going to be first to go.
And, like, the videos are good, too, because they're so clear, some of them, right? Like, you can't argue. It's like, well, He sprayed the goalie.
Right.
It's like the goalie gets up, he's soaked. It's like, all right, well, you're going.
Yep.
That's it.
So now, one thing, and I was thinking about it while we were talking about the Bruins. They have taken a bunch of minor penalties.
Yes.
I mean,
lazy.
And a majority of them, I'd have to say, are legit. They're not. I mean, some of them were tic-tac, some of them were BS. I think they've, missed some on the other side. I think Marchand gets screwed, and that's his own doing because he's been such an asshole to referees for so long, right?
Really neat guy.
Yeah, but, a majority of them are legit. Do you find right now in the NHL are the penalties up? Do you think they're calling too many?
I don't know.
I don't think they are.
No,
I think there's certain, like the other night in the Predators game, Wes McCauley was one of the refs. Calls a penalty 13 seconds in on Pasternak for a hook all day.
Yeah, and
then on that power play calls interference on Nashville because
he was ready to rock and roll.
Oh, well, the guy got up and dragged whoever it was down. I think it was Lindholm down because Lindholm, cupped the stick under the arm. He's one that is just, 95% of the time spot on.
Right.
Consistency, that's a whole nother thing. And I think that's one of the biggest gripes, especially at the youth hockey level, college level, actually any level. Consistency is key, right? So if it's a penalty down that end, it's a penalty down this end.
Yep.
And I think that's where the fans get, pretty amped up over, along with the parents, along with the coaches. Some of them know what they're talking about and have a right. Some of them are freaking clueless and just get mad just to get mad.
Right.
I mean, you watch, the Bruins game the other night. Those penalties were. You couldn't really argue the penalties that were being called. They were penalties.
I mean, look at youth hockey, right? You got, just say, 9-year-old kids, right? And you're on, like, the second team, third team, right? But you're paying club prices, right?
Yeah.
It's a Saturday. It's 80 degrees out. It's October. And you got to go to the rink. But the rink's an hour and a half away. Like, and then you get there, you're probably going to have a couple, right? Because you're pissed off you're there on a Saturday or a Sunday, right? The game's on, and, your kid's playing, and you're pissed off you're up an hour and a half, and then you're out there, and you see the referees, I took a picture of a referee with no chin strap. It was just...
What?
Yeah. Unreal.
Did he have one on the helmet or just...
Nothing. It was bare.
No chin strap.
No chin strap. But, yeah...
And well, that's stupid on a lot of levels.
I know, because if you can really get hurt.
Like, you could get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, what's funny is your dad was someone who said it, about unstrapping your helmet before you get off the ice.
Oh, I hate that. Keep it on because your helmet's the first thing to fall off, and then you're going to crack your head. So always buckle your helmet when you go out there. Like,
I wouldn't be here at this table doing this podcast if it wasn't for the fact that I kept my helmet strapped. I was up in... I forget the names of the rinks. There's two of them. They suck. They're like shitty old rinks. I don't know. It's up North Shore somewhere.
I know which
we're doing a junior tournament.
Yeah,
Hudson. One of those beast tournaments or whatever. And when you come off the ice, at the door it slopes.
Oh,
right. So if you're not, I hadn't skated there. I think that was the first time I did a game there ever.
Right.
And this was 2 years ago. I'm coming off, and my legs just go. Whoosh, and I'm up in the air, and I land and crack my head off the ice. Oh. But luckily, the strap was on, so it kept the helmet on.
Yeah.
And I smacked the helmet, right? If I had that thing unbuckled, I would have been dead.
I don't know. They call you cement head, don't they?
All right. I wouldn't have been dead. I would have been a little more fucked up than I am. But my point is, I see these guys out there doing that shit.
Right.
And, and I was, back in the day when I did pro, I'd go out without the helmet.
Dude,
for my laps.
first game, I see him out there this is great. This kid's first game, right? Southern Pro League.
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed was his chin strap unbuckled. I go, buckle that thing, kid. Don't keep showboating. Like, come on, what are you doing?
Well, back in the day, I did go out do my laps without the helmet.
Well,
I had the flow going.
Luke still does it. Luke still does it in the American League. He comes out, he holds his bucket. Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said about that kind of, I don't know, that rush of being out there or whatever. I actually did a Bruins alumni game last weekend. Really cool up in Maine with the special needs hockey group up in Maine. And it was a really cool day. But I got my new CCM helmet from Sam, my buddy at CCM. She hooked me up. And it had no shield. Right, so I'm out there, and it. At first, I was kind of like, "What? Something's missing."
Yeah, it's like
because I've
weird.
been wearing that shield for so long, and now I have the helmet.
When I coach, I don't have a shield on. It's weird.
It was weird at first, and I was like, "Something's missing." And then I kind of remembered how much I like not having the shield.
Me too. I do like not having it. Yeah,
I remember that I don't like the shield,
but I do find comfort in it when you're reffing a game. Right. Yeah. It's just something that automatic. Like I don't know. It's just.
See, I'd go back to no shield. I would. I'd go back no shield.
There's still guys that ref college hockey without them. Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, they don't tell you what to do. Yeah.
Really?
It's recommended.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's recommended if you don't do it. That not our league, but some they might forget you.
Well, and if you get hurt, the insurance turns around and says, "Hey, you should have had a visor on."
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to not wear it, but it was kind of. I remembered liking not wearing it because the first time I ever wore it was in the Western Hockey League. I went out there to Seattle where I met Vaughn Rohde, former guest of ours, and they made you wear a half shield. And this is back. We're talking 1,000 years ago, right? So everyone wore a half shield out in the Western League. And so Seattle Thunderbirds gives me a half shield. And the thing comes down to it's...
Oh, it's the beak. It's the pad for beak.
It's the one that had the straps that popped up.
Oh,
That's how big it was. And you
first time... buckle it.
You buckle it.
Yeah, you buckle the eye tag. Yeah,
I remember those. It was stupid, right? And the first time I blew my whistle, I blew my ears out.
Oh, right.
And I was like, holy shit. And I hated it. Absolutely hated it. The next trip out, Billy Doran, our buddy Billy Doran from
Doran
worked for
Billy Hockey East. What's his name?
I think.
Yeah, iTech, yeah.
And so he got me the Pat LaFontaine special. So it literally just came down and covered your cheekbones and your nose was completely exposed. And it was legal, so to speak. And I wore that out there. But then didn't wear a shield again until I came back. And
that just brought up that iTech van that he used to drive around in Celtic. Remember the Boston Bob whole thing? And, and a couple Celtic kids may or may not have broke into that thing.
We acquired it, Your Honor.
And it was because I worked at Boston Bob's that they thought, I didn't rat anybody out. I had no idea who the hell friggin' did it. But they thought I ratted them out because I was working at Boston Bob's, and Boston Bob found out who did it.
Right.
And, Boston one of those
Bob's.
deals. Oh, yeah.
That's, I used to shop in skates there.
Yeah, I know.
I
used to come down there all the time, and I'd just go down there, but I remember it would be like dead in there, and you'd be watching yourself on comedy.
Yeah. It was right
and
after
I'm like, what are you doing? And you're like,
yeah.
And I'd sit there and you'd shoot fucking balls. Yeah.
And you'd be like, I think I need shin pads. All right, take what you need.
I used to go there. I never paid for skate sharpenings and replacement blades for my stick. Because he would come down and go, hey, can you wash the shop for an hour? And then he never taught me how to sharpen skates because he really was one of the best sharpeners.
Yeah, he was good.
And they would just line up, and I'd be like there was no cell phones or anything. I couldn't call him and say, hey, dude, you got 20 pairs of skates here. He would come bombing in,
ship them up,
boom, and I'd like, hey, what do you need? I'm like, I need a new Synergy.
That's who taught me to sharpen skates.
Yeah,
was Bobby.
He was the best, man.
And you learned in that machine, and it was an art form.
But
he was cool.
He traveled around and went to different things and learned how to friggin' do it. I wouldn't let anybody touch my. I was kind of even in pros. I was kind of weird about it. Only let certain people touch my skates.
Yeah. It's Bobby, and he had the Boston Bob's Power Hour.
Yeah.
Which was
you needed a criminal conviction to play, right?
Man, you needed a parole officer in the stands. That league was crazy on Tuesday nights. It's $25 a game cash.
Yeah.
And I always would go down and do the three, and 75 in the pocket.
Yeah.
And 3 or 4 threats to your life, but you were okay. And
dude, can you imagine if I asked someone to go work for $25 cash right now?
Oh no,
they'd tell me to go pound sand. Yeah. I had a kid making. This is no joke. Text came through. Hey, I only got 3 games. I'm not accepting them until I get more games. I go, dude, you're making fucking $80 a game. You're making $240 in 3-4 hours of work. Where can you make that? Flipping burgers. You can't.
Nowhere.
I go, you got to accept those 3 games, or you got to go pound sand somewhere else. Like, and I go, they don't want you working 5-6 games in a row. Right. You know, like you got to take a break. And he's like, oh, all right, whatever. He got it. But I'm like, just the mindset of these, I don't get it.
No.
Like they need to do 6-7 games a day. I mean, it's good money, but mentally, how can you? It's not reffing.
That's why at the end of the day, these guys suck.
Right.
So bad because they're so burnt out.
And plus the fact that how many U15, U18, U20 games are there floating around now? Tons. It's like, and there's not enough quality at that level to go out and work. And you got some of the best teams in the country coming in. And you got guys caught up in college, prep school, everything, everywhere else.
Everywhere.
And
juniors.
Yeah, all these different.
Too much hockey.
Yeah.
Too much hockey.
It's insane.
I tell you what, some of those, anyone who needed an adjustment to their attitude as a referee, if you sent them down Tuesday night to Boston Bob's in the South Boston rink, they would quickly get it. They would quickly understand what it means to...
Shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Well, you get punched in the mouth. Nobody gets punched in the mouth anymore.
My favorite story... I got to tell it. I probably told it before, but Tommy Allen was my cousin because my ex-wife Denise.
Yep.
Her big family in Southie, and so he's playing. I gave him a penalty, and he is motherfucking me to the box, threatening my life. He's gonna kick my ass in the parking lot, and I just go, Tommy, you know you're at my wedding, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, I was, and I go, yeah, I'm married to Denise. He goes, oh, forget what I said.
Yeah.
And you moved on. But that league was just insane, insane. And,
now,
so much fun, though.
I mean, you hear horror stories about, like, shit happening to referees after games. Like, what was the worst thing that ever happened to you? Like, was your car ever damaged? Was your locker, besides, maybe, a pro coach might have thrown you shit in the shower or something. But
that never happened to me.
But it never happened to me because I think I would have fought. I would have been my last pro game.
Yeah, it would have been me, too.
And I wouldn't that's personal. That's human shit. That's street just came out. Like we're done. Wasn't in the arena, right?
100%.
Take it out here, and then once it's over or whatever, don't be a child. But what has anything ever crazy happened to you like that? Like where you've been maybe assaulted or?
Well, no, I've never been. In pro, I needed police escorts a couple times out of ranks, right? Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. I needed the Brown County Sheriffs out of Green Bay when Donnie Granado tried to attack me in between periods. They needed to, escort me out.
Another rape performance?
I was outstanding that night. But I've never been followed to my car or anything like that from a youth game or anything. But I did have, Wednesday Night League in Foxborough over the summer, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right? You'd send me there for a 2 or 3 spot.
Yeah, stealing money, yeah.
It was beautiful. And so one night I come out. Now, I'm driving my Ford Focus at the time, all right? And I come out, and the tire's low, when I come out. So I stop at the gas station on the way home. I fill it with air. I go home. Next day, it's flat again. And I'm like, what the hell? So come to find out, there were 7 nails put in it, all right, with a nail gun, right? Because the guy at Town Fair Tire had never seen anything like it, right? I mean, they were right in the middle of the tire. Boom, boom, boom.
Was it your ex-wife?
Well, no, what's funny is, first of all, it's the summer league where nothing went on.
Right.
There were no penalties. There was no icing, no hitting. Everyone, everyone's out for a good skate, especially at the college division, the D1 kids and the pro players, right?
Right.
Donato played, Coyle played, all those guys played, Brian Boyle.
Yep.
So it wasn't like I made some call that changed the world.
Right.
So I claim it was a mistaken identity that, someone else drove a Ford Focus that needed a nail gun in their tire. I don't know. That's what I'm going with. But yeah, I brought it to Town Fair. And the guy's like, There's like 7 tires. He goes, this had to be done with a nail gun. He goes, who did you piss off? I go, I don't know. I had no idea.
That's unbelievable.
7 nails in my tire. Boom, boom, boom. Punched right in there in Foxborough. So that's the only thing. But unless it was, I don't know, who knows, some crazy that might have been pissed off from 2 months ago. I don't know. But
so we brought him up, Boston Bob, right? So like I used to ref every Saturday, Sunday morning at UMass Boston with him, and we'd pull up. We'd always pull right in. The kids are on the ice waiting for us every Saturday, right? So after every single one of those Saturday, Sundays, I had a parent at one of the 3 games or a coach like approach us, tell us how bad we were. What kind of lesson are you teaching my kid for letting that go and then calling this hook? And I'm like looking at the lady. I'm like, I don't even remember the play. Like I don't even know what you're talking about. Like I gotta go. I gotta go play my game, right? But like, and then like the coaches be like, I'm calling Gene Bender, rah, rah, rah. And I'm like, oh really? I go, I'll tell him tomorrow when I get home. They're like, wait, you're his kid? I'm like, yeah. And
that's
like, and then they would call and they were like, well, the older guy was kind of an asshole. And then, like, I would tell them the story. And same shit goes on now, right? Like I said earlier, I go, if you follow me around on a Saturday, the shit I get from coaches, the shit I get from, like, not college coaches, like youth coaches, like midget coaches, like, it's ridiculous. The junior coaches that call, and some of them are like, a lot of them are like legitimate conversations. They're not complaints. They're like, hey, I just want to bring this to your attention just so it's a learning thing, just so you're aware of, which is fine. But some of them are like, holy fuck, that happened? We got the clip, right? Hang on. We got a clip tonight. So we showed it up on Monday night, right? And so this happened over the weekend. I heard the story from one of the referees. My wife got the call from the other referee who this happened to. So it was a young kid. They were doing the finals in the what's it called, the whatever tournament was, the Beast, and there was a hook, and then another hook, and the second hook put the team down 5-on-3, which wasn't a penalty. It's not a penalty, especially it's not a penalty ever. And you know what? It's a tie game, 5-on-3 power play. Team ends up winning. Now the kid. So I get a call from the referee who didn't make the call. He goes, listen, I'm not suing anybody. I just want to bring this to your attention. I just want to make sure that this doesn't like go anywhere and what have you. I go, oh, what the hell happened? So at the end of the game, he looks over. His partner's over by the net. And they see the kid from the winning team skates over to him and just starts talking to him. So they start skating over to where the pile is. Then the referee grabs the banner. They take a picture with the banner, with the winning trophy, banner, the whole 9.
No.
Right? So now this is from the other referee, right? So this is from the partner. So I go, what the fuck did you do? And he goes, oh, I went over and broke it up. And he was like, no, we're not doing this, right? So I'm like, oh, Jesus. And I tell my mom, I'm like, can you believe this? My wife's like, oh, that was so-and-so's game. They called me. I go, so what the hell happened? And she goes, the kid was just over there minding his business, right? He goes, I thought we called a good game. Like, doesn't register that he kind of influenced the game, right? Right. So he goes, the player asked me to just come over here for a sec. He goes, so I just skated over, and they were like, hey, can you hold this? And, like, next thing you know, like, I'm in the picture, and, like, the other referee goes over and just kind of, like, gets in the middle of it.
How old were the kids?
It was a U15 game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the kids are old enough to know that
they knew what the hell they were doing, and it was BS what the hell happened. So, like...
And you have video of it.
Oh, I got video of it.
The only time you take a picture after a game like that in a championship is when a leprechaun runs out in the ice, and then you grab your camera and you take a picture like I did.
That is...
Yeah.
Because
you don't find those every once in a while, They're a tough find, the leprechauns.
Oh, my God, it's so bad. But, yeah, we will show it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's not working on the thing, but we can get it up here. I'll send it to Mike.
Yeah.
And, it's...
And he just holds the banner.
Yeah, holds the banner.
That's incredible.
Maybe we should just protect the innocents and not show it.
Well, it's like you always say, and your dad always says, it's a teaching moment.
Yes, right.
And you got to be aware of what's going on.
Right.
And you got to be aware of,
But how shitty of that team to do that, though? Like, of those kids.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Right.
That's bullshit. I mean, they're taking advantage of a kid. Like, now, obviously, someone with some experience would never skate down there with the winning team. I mean,
right.
They say, hey, come here. It's like, you treat that like a van and a guy with a lost puppy. You're not going. You know what I mean? But, unfortunately... that happened. Learn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I had a coach, and it really wasn't. Well, first of all, I love when coaches say, "I'm going to call Binder."
Oh, it's the best.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because I go, I am on speed dial. You want me to dial? Like, go right ahead.
The best is when my father's on the ice and they say that.
That's the best. That's the best. I'm going to call Gene Binder. Really? Why don't you just call him across the ice, you dumbass? That guy might have done that when him and I were together in Dorchester.
I think he did do that.
I think he did.
That's part of the story.
I was like, I'll call him first. Hey, Gino!
That's what, yeah.
But I threw a coach out in Walpole in a midget tournament.
A U18 tournament.
U18, my bad. U16, U18 midget. And so I throw him out. I mean, he was being a dink on the bench.
Yeah.
And finally, he said, I made a call, and he said, fuck you. I go, thank you. You can leave now.
You're dismissed.
So game ends, and I'm going to get off the ice, and he's at the door. And he's holding the door, and he's going like this. And I go, pal, you might want to move.
Yeah.
Because I'm already writing you up.
I got a helmet on.
And he's going, I go, no, I'm not going around. You're going to move. And in that moment, you have that moment like, how's this going to play out? You know what I mean? Like, you got to be smart because nowadays anyone will sue you for anything. Everything's on video. But I remember he finally stepped out of the way and he started, chirping me. And I was just like, have a nice day, pal. You're good, And I put it in the report. But that was one time where, you have that moment, that 10 seconds of, I might beat the fuck out of this guy.
Oh, yeah.
just out of principle.
Oh, yeah.
And you have those moments where you have to kind of realize that it's.
I had a lot of those moments when I was playing and reffing the same age or close to it. Like when I was still playing and reffing, like I had a lot of those, like, I was a multi kid, yeah. So like,
shocking.
I ran my mouth when I reffed, and I ran my mouth when, I was playing. So, like,
can confirm.
Yeah.
Yep, can confirm.
So I just remember a couple times, like, I'm reffing in the morning, and I'm like, hey, dude, I'm playing you later on. And, oh, yeah, we had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, you have the ref get you later on in the day.
Yeah.
That's like a referee's dream.
Yep.
Right? To play against the kid that busted their balls the whole game.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
How did a complete conflict of interest?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I was waiting for you to kind of argue that a little bit. No, it was all right. No, completely shouldn't have happened, but it did on a regular basis. So that's fucking awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
I mean, we didn't have enough guys back then. I mean, it was like, honestly, I was like lining, but it was like 3-man. All the midgets were 3-man back then. Remember? So now they're all 2-man because we don't have enough guys, and there's so much friggin' hockey, and that's what people don't understand.
U16.
Everywhere else in the country, it's all 3-man. It's 3-man everywhere else. Youth hockey.
Really?
Pee-wee's a 3-man. We don't have enough people.
We don't have enough people to do 2-man sometimes.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
I mean, it's insane in this area.
And it's insane that we got a Pee-wee game with 3 officials on it. Like, I don't understand. I get the whatever, but no. What do we do?
That's got to be hard.
Yes.
To do 3-man and imagine aligning a Pee-wee game.
No.
No. That's got to be painful.
Like, I refereed the it was a Pee-wee versus the U9 girls yesterday. It was a scrimmage. Yeah. We scrimmaged the Pee-wee team. And, I was like, this is my speed. I go, I think I can start refereeing again. I go, I can do this. You know, the offsides are nice and easy.
Yeah.
There's no penalties. I don't have to make any decisions. You just go out there and point for goals, and
that's it.
Yeah, and then you might have to call a trip or a hook or those obvious fouls, and
that might be the loop you're in.
I think I'm coming back.
I think you're ready for to come out of retirement.
I am.
You 9 girls.
Yep.
Right.
I'm in.
You're in the
little rink, less skating,
and you do them alone. You double fee.
Yeah.
Right. You'll be all set.
Dude, I was buzzing around. It was funny.
That's hilarious. You do have to. You should come out of retirement.
I have to. I got to start refereeing in. I just don't have time or the mental capacity to do it. Like, I go 0 to 100 pretty quickly, and I see things before it even gets there, and I know what the coach is already going to say to me before he even says it. So it's like, nope, and no. You're not. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, kid fell, it was a collision. It's not a penalty, but the coach is going to think it's a penalty because we called the one earlier, and I'm going to say, no, it's not the same as this one. That, like, why do I have to explain myself? Just let the kids, let it happen. It's youth hockey. You're gonna win a game from an offside goal that went in. You're gonna win a game from a puck that went in that got waved off, right? And you're gonna lose a game where you think the puck went in and the goalie tied it up and the referee counted it for whatever reason, and you're gonna go whatever. Like, are we gonna string him up out front and whatever, and chase him out of the parking lot and put 9 nails in his tire? Or, what are we doing? Like, you really, is it, and it gets to my point earlier, right? You're working, you're chasing your tail, and, you're paying all this money to go up, and then you get trash out there on the ice on the officiating side, right? Like, so it's like, you got to understand the frustration, but it's also development. It's also learning, right? Like, they're learning, legit, no idea how to play the game, the kids, and the referees are learning how to ref the game that they just learned how to play, right? So it's like, let everybody just kind of.
Well, that's where the key is effort, right? Yes. You give an effort,
right?
As long as the kids give an effort, and you know what? I never had a problem with anyone that was new that didn't know what they were doing, as long as they were trying,
right?
As long as they were giving effort, as long as they were skating, as long as they were trying to get to where they were supposed to be.
Right.
Like you said, they're going to mess up. They're going to miss stuff.
I mean,
it's those guys that aren't trying, or girls, whoever it is. It's those officials that are out there for the Sunday skate that make guys like you and me go nuts.
I think I brought it up already on here, but whatever. The first goal of a game a couple weeks ago was offside. My daughter was playing awesome, right? Yeah. And she was playing great. And the first goal of the game was offside. It just demoralizes everything, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, I saw the referee process it, and I'm like, that's offside. Like me, I was like, immediately, right?
Right.
And then he just let it go, and then it broke, right? It wasn't going to be a breakaway right away. He just let the play continue. I knew what he was doing. And, and then unfortunately the puck bounced one way and the girl got a breakaway.
Right.
So it was like, that one kind of screwed you. If the breakaway didn't happen, you would have got away with letting that offside go because it was just bang, bang. And, you're going to have 100 of those. And we didn't get the bounce that time. But they also let a couple go the other way, right? And we didn't get that bounce. It was like little tight ones, right?
Yep.
No, you're not supposed to let offsides go, but in a Might and Square game, you're going to have 300 of them, and they're going to take 2.5 hours. So let the kids play. Like, yes, we know what we get it. You know what offsides is, but let them play.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Like,
now I would love to see you come back because you're like me. When you see something done the wrong way, you lose your mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. That's why I say there's the over-under on you getting thrown out as a coach. You're going to see shit that's done wrong, and
I've learned how to kick the
boards.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So, no joke, another clip we can show, too. My daughter played for another team, so I wasn't on the bench for this one. And first, it's our referees, and I'm going, what the hell are they doing? Icing, throwing the puck down.
Oh, no.
Like, I was sitting with my father-in-law. Like, I jumped off the stool. I was like, I'm going down there. So, I walked down, and, I stood behind, the penalty box, and I'm like, I'm going to sit there for 6 minutes and wait for the period. I go, no. So, I walk back. At the end of the period, I go, I'll be right back. I walked up, and I'm like, hey, guys. I'm like.
Did they know you were there?
Yeah.
They knew you were there?
Yeah.
And they still were doing that?
Yep. Well, I don't think they knew any better because they were legit 15, 16-year-old kids. And they've only worked in that little rink or, those little mite rinks. And they probably do 5, 6 of those a weekend, And I go, listen, you can't throw a puck down. I go, what if you throw it down and one of the kids steps on it and then cracks her head? Whatever, like dangerous, anything, right? It just looks bad. It's lazy. And if you're going to do it, do the 3 puck thing, right? Have one in your pocket, pick it up, and whatever. Now you rotate.
I hate that, too.
I hate that, too, but that's a lot better than throwing the puck down the ice, right? Especially if you're doing 6 or 7 of them, whatever, right? I get it. But don't be throwing the puck down the other end of the ice. No. That absolutely drove me nuts. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, my father-in-law was like, you got to calm down. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm good.
I'm fine. I'll be right back.
And then my wife's like, you can't yell at him. I'm like, I didn't. I talked to them like pretty sternly, but I just and then I talked to the kid before. He keeps the whistle in his mouth during play. And I'm like, dude, you're going to get hurt. I go, you're going to break your teeth. I go, we got a good dentist, insurance.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you can't be doing that. It's like some of the stuff you see in the youth hockey, it's just like, and that was the same day I saw the kid with the no chin strap.
No chin. Unreal. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
No chin strap.
No chin strap.
That's unbelievable. You know what? I was remiss early on. I meant to do this because I wanted to give a shout out to. Holy shit!
Right?
He doesn't have anything. Nothing.
There's nothing. It's just beer.
How do you just have the ear loops?
I don't know. Like if that's just.
You have to go out of your way to be like that.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awful. That's worse than.
I hope he forgot his helmet, and that's what he found in the lost and found. That's what I'm hoping.
You're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt?
No.
No. I mean, that's worse than wearing
like a
sweatpants with a hockey logo on them. We've seen those.
Oh yeah, the other kid, and the other kid didn't have. Yeah, he just had like wind pants with like the white down the middle.
Yeah, awful. I meant to give a shout out. So, a good friend of mine, who you know, comedian Christine Hurley, very good friend of mine, hilarious lady. She out of the blue tells me that her son Brendan, one of our biggest fans.
Really?
Yeah, he owns Brendan's Lawn and Landscape out of Plymouth.
Okay,
give him a shout out. And she said that his go-to podcast now, above everything, Chicklets and Rogan and everything. Chirping Zebras.
You said landscape?
Landscape. Brendan's Lawn and Landscape.
I'll keep my address off the podcast, but
yeah, you might want to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If you need any landscaping needs or anything like that, we'll send them over to the house.
Yeah.
You should check out Brendan's Lawn and Landscape because he's a huge fan of ours, and
we
wanted to give him a shout out because anyone that is that loyal to us. We want to make sure we recognize it.
Absolutely.
So, and we'd love to hear from anyone about, their listening pleasures. And if you're out there, send us an email. If you have something we want to talk about, you want us to talk about a video you want us to look at, send it in.
All right, I'm gonna give our good buddy Ryan McGrath a shout out from the Valley Junior Warriors. Calls me up a couple weeks ago. He goes, "Hey, I know you get miserable phone calls from coaches all day. I just want to tell you I'm cutting my lawn and I love your podcast."
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was like, right on. I was like, I got to give you a shout out. So there's your shout out.
I love that
Right
kid.
on.
So,
yeah, he's great.
As you know, Luke Galvin and I coached him in the Boston Harbor Wolves way back in the day, playing out of Charlestown.
Oh, yeah. He's a Reading kid, yeah.
He was one of our mainstays on defense. Yeah. Great kid. And so
out
happy
of his mind,
that he's
doing great.
So happy that he was, because he was over at Wentworth for a while.
He was at Wentworth for a while.
Coaching.
Yep.
And then
he was up in Portland, Maine, coaching juniors. Like he was driving from Boston up to there. I mean, he put his time in. He puts his work in, and he's got a really good gig with the Gilmartins here in Wood Valley. So,
and he does a nice job too.
Really nice job.
So
and he always makes sure we have nice cold ones in the room after.
Always
took care of the referees.
Always took care of the referees, and that taking care of referees, it can make a difference on the ice.
Yep.
Not to say that we can be swayed easy, but it doesn't hurt.
Nope, it doesn't.
Doesn't hurt, right?
Yep.
So that's awesome. We love Ryan and Brendan Hurley, thank you for being a big fan of ours.
Yeah, especially landscapers are good to know, especially being from Southie. I grew up in a cement backyard, right? And now I got leaves falling everywhere. I got grass I got to cut. I got patios I'm laying down. I'm moving bricks.
You got a saltwater pool.
I got a saltwater pool.
Right?
I don't know. I can't keep up with it. You might have a
dolphin in there right now. You wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, right. I can't keep up with it. It's like it's overgrown. I need some help.
I think we got a landscaper for you. I think I got a guy for you.
We got Celtics. We got Celtics tickets on here, so maybe we'll get a landscaper.
We got Celtics tickets?
I got Celtics tickets because
what?
Yeah, so one of our early on episodes, I mentioned it. My daughter liking the Celtics. My daughter Cameron, right?
Yeah,
huge Celtics fan for whatever reason. I think she just wants to change the station, but
right. Or sick of hockey talk in the house.
Yeah, exactly. But she loves basketball, loves the Celtics. I think it's the squeaky shoes. I don't know, but like I said, referee world. Listening. Leo Caravan does a ton of work for us.
Lovely.
And he works for the was it Ford?
Jack Madden Ford.
Yeah, Jack Madden Ford.
We'll give them a shout out too.
Right
Maybe
on.
You could sponsor us, Jack Madden Ford.
And
I used to drive a Focus.
Yeah, and Leo goes, "Hey, I heard your daughter's a huge fan. 4 tickets just popped up," and I go, "No shit."
Really?
Yeah. And
that's fantastic.
And having a daughter with special needs to do something last minute like that, I was like, I don't know if I can, I was like, I don't know if she'll go or whatever, but she was all for it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yep. Hey, we saw the champs play.
Look at that.
How about that?
Well, yeah, we'll take anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about a like and subscribe? We love those too.
Yep.
We're getting up there.
Man, we are getting up there.
We're doing all right. Yeah. And we're doing all right in the TikTok.
Yeah, not bad for a couple of has-beens and
a couple of. You're coming out of retirement. We're going to do some games together.
Let's do it.
We are.
Like I want to I don't want to do college hockey again because I don't think I can keep up. I can keep up with the speed, but I don't think I could do it night in and night out how I used to. And I don't ever want to be that guy. But it's so fun. I love watching it. I love teaching the guys, and it like you said, it drives you nuts when you see errors out there. But I've made plenty of errors too. But it's if things are happening 10 times a game, 10 times, you want them to get down 2 or 3 times down to 1, right? You want to eliminate those errors, those errors and mistakes, and you'll have better games.
Well, I think here's my idea. I'll throw it out there right now on. Episode 36. I say you and I do a game at every level. Right? The Chirping Zebras will come in the house. We'll do a game from mites all the way up to the SP.
We'll be the Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We're going back to school.
We're going back to school, and we're going to do a game from mites all the way up through, you know what? U16, U18, midgets. And then we'll do a junior game. We'll do a D3, a D1, and a Southern Pro. Not all at once, obviously. Not all within a period of time.
Yeah, same weekend.
But we're going to spread it out. We're going to spread it out. We'll do the Chirping Zebras referee tour, comeback tour, and we'll do a game and maybe we can even do one out at the Railers. We'll do an East Coast League game. Who runs that? Still, Joey Ernst still runs that. Joey will hook us up. We could handle it.
We could definitely handle it.
I mean, come on.
But I don't think the colleges would want me out there.
But you know what? They don't have a choice. You assign it.
Yeah, that's true.
You can assign yourself, and you assign your partner, which is happens to be
me.
Actually,
I almost had to get out there. First game of the season I'm going to. This is the stuff you can't make up. You get a call. Hey, I got a flat tire. I got in an accident. Blah, blah, blah. No, not a flat tire. I got in an accident. My bump is hanging off, and I'm 30 minutes from the rink. Fuck. All right. You got plenty of time. Right, boom, boom, boom. Yep. He was going to be an hour early, so thank God, right? So I was like, all right, you got an hour before you even got to get on the road. Cop wasn't going to let him leave because his bumper was hanging off and it wasn't going to be drivable. And I'm driving to the game because I'm supervising. And I half joked. I was like, should I bring my shit? He was like, no, I should be all right. I can get to the rink. My car should be fine. And then I'm driving to the rink. Now my armpits sweat, as you can see. That's why I'm wearing black tonight. And, it just starts pouring. He's like, I don't think he's going to let me go. And I'm like, I don't have a backup. Oh, the hell, you going to be fine? Sure as shit, he showed up just in time for warm-ups. No sweat. Went out and nailed the game.
Perfect.
you never know. Like have your bag ready to rock and roll.
I don't know. I think it's a good idea.
Luke came out and worked the game. Somebody got hurt. Frank Murphy or someone got hurt, and Luke went out and did the rest of the game when he was a supervisor. Yeah, ECAC that season we worked. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep, it was at Yale.
That's
right. It
was
Yale Clarkson, I think. I don't know why I remember that. That's crazy.
Wild. And he went out and did.
He went out and did that. Yep.
I think we should schedule it. I don't know. I think.
Well, we got to run it by.
So we have a friend of ours in house tonight.
Yep.
Rick Fink from Small Town Scuttlebutt. The podcast, which is fantastic, out of Medfield.
Yep.
I've been on. I think
I haven't.
You haven't, but you don't go out to Medfield. You need a passport to go out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Salty kid. I think it's a good idea. Gino and I do a game at every level. I think we're going to do it.
And he had a great idea too. Some emails.
Yeah.
Emails in, right? With crazy.
Thoughts?
Yeah. Advice, anything you want, any tips of the trade, something that happened in your game that, like I get them every day. Like I get text messages all the time. Like, hey, what do you think about this hit? What do you think? What would you do here? And, talking about positioning and, we break down film all the time with people. We do Zooms with people and all that kind of stuff. Right. And just beat them up a little bit. And, I think everybody can benefit from it. So like if you guys, I always call it shared knowledge. So like, if I had that question, I guarantee you 20 other people had that same question. I didn't even know it, right? Or even didn't even think about it, especially in officiating. Like, it's all about experience with refereeing and what you can retain, really.
Yeah.
And half the stuff that I figured out in hockey games, someone else fucked up.
Right? Of course.
Like, I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that, right? Oh, that's that rule? Oh, yeah, that's right. And then you remember it for however reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, send in videos if you want us to cut them up.
Yeah, send in videos. And where should they send them?
Right into Mark at chirpingzebras.com or Gino at chirpingzebras.com.
There you go.
You can just find us right there.
We'll throw it on the little
chirpingzebras.com. You can, and that'll give you access to all the episodes.
Yep.
It'll give you access to all our social medias. The Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok.
Maybe we should do like a little thing on our website where they just click the link and send us an email.
I think we might even have that already.
Let's do it.
And if we don't, we can. Our good friend Jennifer Dennis can take care of that for us.
All right,
I'm sure. And
you new officials out there, old officials, any type of officials, really.
Coaches.
Yeah, coaches.
Parents.
Yeah, we're all learning, right? Especially parents. Parents need the most education. I hope they're listening. Set them straight. Just shut your mouth, watch your kid, and sip your beer.
And like and subscribe. I love it.
Or your White Claw or the High Noons, whatever the kids are into these days.
Whatever's in that coffee mug, that Stanley Cup that you're drinking out of, right? Which, you know what, there's nothing better than a bunch of Canadian geese in the stands.
All what the parents really should be doing is popping a lot of gummies, just become numb, and just sit there and shut your mouth. And just watch your kid enjoy the moment.
It's not bad advice.
No.
I mean, maybe for some people it might be bad advice, but not bad advice for most hockey fans.
Right.
Or hockey parents. Right?
You'll be happy to be there instead of angry to be there.
That's true, and nothing will bother you.
No.
Right? And the rink will make out because their snack bar will have an uptick in sales.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially the Canton Sportsplex. Best pizza in town.
They have some good pizza.
Yeah.
We should do a review of...
I think Portnoy might have done a review at that.
Really?
He might have done a Canton Ice House. Yeah.
We're going to start doing our referee room reviews.
We should.
We're going to do that. We got
Unfortunately,
a couple
that one's not very
up.
good.
We're getting... No, that rink is terrible for a referee room.
Yeah.
Any referee room doesn't have a bathroom or heat.
It's just a cement red wall.
It's awful.
So, like, I coach at that rink, so that's where I get dressed.
Yeah, and you have to go in the locker room with the players to go use the bathroom. If you want, you can go upstairs.
Well, you can go upstairs, but that's a pain in the ass, too.
Yeah, and at our age, we're not walking up the stairs in between periods.
No.
But we'll have to start that. And we're also, next week, this is for sure, next week, when this drops, the following week, we're going to start our live show. Our CZP video review show, weekly show. We're going to watch video, cut it down, talk about what went right, what went wrong, answer your questions, interact. It's going to be awesome. So we got
maybe we'll get some. Maybe we'll read some emails.
We'll have email. Well, we'll have commentary right there. It'll be live, real time. We're doing it live, as you like to say.
Yep. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
One of Gino's favorite comments. So we got that coming.
Nuts. He's awesome.
And you know what? And next week, what's scheduled for next week? Peter Burrell.
Yes.
One of the associate directors on the movie Slapshot.
Yep.
Our favorite movie. My favorite movie
we
of
worked
all
in
time.
that building, right?
Johnstown, the War Memorial.
Yep.
And we're going to have him on and talk about all kinds of stuff with hockey and with the making of Slapshot. He has some unbelievable Paul Newman stories. I did a thing back in Manchester about a year ago now, the Manchester Film Festival. We watched it, and he was on stage with Jimmy Dunn, our buddy Jimmy Dunn, and we stopped the movie and talked about it. We had a live studio on.
You got to get the Hanson brothers in.
So the Hanson brothers would be fun to have too.
Yeah.
So, but so we want to thank Referees Crease.
Yep.
Our sponsor, Referees Crease.
All you loyal listeners.
All you loyal listeners and watchers.
Yeah,
a lot of
watchers.
watching.
Yeah.
A lot of watching going on. We like to watch. And we want to ask you to like and subscribe on YouTube, as always. Thank you to AOA Studios for hosting us.
Yep.
As always.
Best.
And thank you guys for joining us. Again, send in the emails. Merch on the website. Forgot.
Yeah.
The merch is on the website, too, so you can order merch. For sure. We have all kinds of merch.
These cool hats.
Cool trucker hats. Actually, those are sold out. We got to get more made.
That is true.
The trucker hat is sold out. We're in the process of getting some more knit hats. So
This is my second one I've gone through. This still is not faded.
Yeah, no, you wear a hat.
Oh, yeah.
You wear a hat. You wear a hat.
Well, look, I'm going bald.
Well, you
I don't
have to
that
wear a hat.
spiky flow.
Well, you
the
make
Bart
fun
Simpson.
Of, you make fun of my hair, but at least I still have it. So that's going to do it on episode 36 of Chirping Zebras. We want to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you around the rink for sure.
Absolutely.
And if you do, say hi, and
don't chirp the refs.
Don't chirp the refs unless they deserve it, and then chirp them because some of them suck. See you next time.
Right on.